Welcome to Where Passion Meets Purpose. I'm your host, Jen Mentesana. On this show, we help busy moms and entrepreneurs find more passion and purpose in their daily lives through inspiring stories and interviews. Welcome back, everyone, to Where Passion Meets Purpose. I don't know if you can tell by the background, but we are in the studio today. I am super excited. I have some local guests here on the show. Ian and Jenna Johnson are here from Tyr Training, and they are the most incredible entrepreneurs. First of all, incredible people and entrepreneurs. They have an incredible business here in the South Bay of Los Angeles called Tyr Training, and I actually work out there and have been working out there for several months now. It is an incredible experience. I love it mostly because I only have to go in once a week, and we'll learn more about that. But I just wanted to have these guys on the show to tell their story, what they're doing, how they're impacting lives and making a difference in the lives of people's wellness and health. And it's not just from looking good on the outside, but also feeling good on the inside and taking care of their health for longevity. So I can't wait to introduce these guys to you. Ian and Jenna, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys, I know you personally now for a few months, but I really wanted to introduce you to our audience and just let them get to know the people behind this incredible facility. You're amazing entrepreneurs. You're a married couple with 2 young children, and you're kind of doing it all. And I'm super impressed. I personally am also an entrepreneur and owner of a business with my husband, and I know the journey that it's taken us on to be in business together, to be business partners together, to raise children together, to do it all together. And sometimes it's a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Absolutely. It's a lot. And you guys are doing it. You've been in business for how long now? 5 years?
Going on 5.
Yeah. Okay.
So 2021 we opened.
Okay. Yeah. 2021. And you have a 6-year-old son?
6-year-old son, 2-year-old daughter.
Okay. Amazing. So you guys were basically birthing a business at the same time
and a baby.
And a baby. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So much fun. You're kind of like us. We're crazy. Just throw it all out there and make it happen and figure it out.
Yep.
So awesome. Well, I would love to hear a little bit about how you guys started your business. So let's take us back to like the initial idea. Where did this come from?
Well, I was at Bay Club for many years, the fitness manager up on top of the hill, and worked with clients, worked in the fitness field forever. And it was probably around 2016 or 2017 that I had the experience to drive out to Santa Monica at the time and try out ARX machines. And that's kind of what you alluded to a little bit ago. It was one of those moments that the light bulb went off. I didn't know what I was doing, what I was experiencing, but I knew it was different. And so I fell in love with it instantly. From there, I began reading every book I could. I called every studio that I could find on the Google listing of who had it, and I picked their brain and tried to talk to them about it. And it was one of these things that I always knew I wanted to work for myself. I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't know where or how or even the first steps to take. And so I kind of had a reverse journey in the sense of I found the thing that would separate us. I fell in love with it, and then I started to put the whole business together from there. It originated as just me, and then I realized in no way could I do this all by myself. And, we had a weird we were going to open it up in 2019. It didn't really work. And then COVID hit, and Jenna was a restaurant manager. I was at Bay Club. Both of our locations closed down, and it opened up the doors for something that, has turned into a dream come true. But I don't know, how long we've been dreaming it until it all kind of came into fruition.
When you first were going to open it, I wasn't going to be involved in all. He was looking for a business partner. He was thinking of maybe some of the, he had some employees that he was thinking of maybe bringing along. But then when COVID hit, we both lost our jobs. We had a baby, and we got to spend a lot of time together. And we were one of the lucky couples that didn't want to kill each other. And I was a new mom, and I desperately wanted to continue spending as much time as possible with my family. Mm. And on top of that, I really believed in him. I didn't necessarily think I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I'm definitely, I excel as a supporting role for people. Mm. And I've always done that in any job I was in, or I was in theater and drama. I love to be the supporting role or work backstage. Mm. But anyway, I saw it as a path of like, oh, I could have flexibility. Like I can bring my son to work with me, or I can work from home. And I thought I would really be doing all of like the nitty gritty back end stuff. Let's make sure this, licensure is in place or insurance is in place. I can do all the admin stuff. And so it was me like, okay, I'm going to make this dream happen for you because selfishly I could stay home with my son. Right. And then it's become something that has completely inspired me to never work for anyone else again.
Yeah.
And hopefully work on more projects in the future or continue to grow and expand this into something more than it is. Yeah. So thankfully he was a big dreamer and I believed in him. And then now I'm probably more of the dreamer of the two at this point.
Yeah, when we first opened, she got to do all the not fun things and I got to be the show pony and enjoy. And now I think roles have kind of switched and yeah, she's the dreamer. She's the one that kind of is shooting for the stars and seeing what we can do. And I'm more the day-to-day, in studio type of guy. So
Yeah. Well, and I think it's amazing that you guys are, it's what I talk about on the show all the time about how you can bring your own talents and gifts and strengths to what you do that gives you joy, but also elevates your business. And you both are finding that in your business. When I walk in the studio and I see Ian, he just comes alive when he sees his clients walk in. He's passionate about them seeing success. And you're more the welcoming, energetic, but also the dreamer and also talking about what is possible, looking around the space and seeing how you guys can grow. And it's just so much fun to watch the two of you kind of just be in your element, right? And do what you do so well. So it's a huge testament to you coming together. Obviously, COVID birthed a lot of businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs. And I look at it at the time, I looked at the pandemic as such a challenge and such a difficult thing. And now even in our business, we've seen the opportunity for growth by going through something difficult and then coming out on the other side and actually moving forward in a new way. So obviously that helped you guys figure out your business model and how you wanted to move forward in your business. And so I'd love, Ian, for you to talk a little bit more about the ARX machines, the model of your business, why it's so successful, why it works, and why it's so unique.
So ARX machines, the ARX is a company out of Texas, and what they have created is a artificially intelligent workout machine that the science and kind of the why and the how I can talk about for much longer than this podcast is going to go, but to kind of oversimplify it, it's a very efficient and effective way to do all of your strength training. So it's perfectly adapting to whatever force you're outputting. You have a maximum concentric and eccentric load, which again, kind of breaking down the science of is all we're trying to do is fatigue the muscle at the end of the day. And if we can use machines that effectively, efficiently, but most importantly, safely are able to break you down, then we have a full 6 days before we want you to strength train again. Originally, that was kind of the bread and butter that we had in the business was this 1 day a week strength training. And then what's evolved is, what else am I supposed to do? That's a question I get asked all the time is 1 day a week on these strength training robots. Well, should I do Pilates? Should I walk? Should I, how do I get better at tennis or whatever their goal is? But what we're realizing is we need to do the correct exercises correctly and not just the correct ones on the great machine. And so we've really kind of taken this corrective exercise approach to it. And we get you on the table, we get the Theragun out, glute release, quad release, all these different things to kind of help you then optimize and maximize what you can do when it comes to your strength training machines. The end of the day, it's about a 20 to 30 minute workout. That's how we ask out of you. And then see you later, you're out the door for another 6 days. So we want to give you guys all your time back. We want to give you guys what you need and nothing more. And, I used to be the gym rat that loved working out and the 5 days under the barbell and Monday chest day and all that fun stuff. And we had our first son, and all of a sudden I realized there's a smarter way to do it. There's a more efficient way to do it. Surprisingly enough, it wasn't in the mainstream fitness world yet. And when I found out about the machines, I brought them to Bay Club. I was the fitness manager there, and they said no. And I looked around, and we had to drive over an hour to get to the first machine. And even 4 or 5 years later,
it still hasn't
hasn't
quite boomed.
Right.
But the concept of everyone now, if you're paying attention to your health and fitness, strength training's a huge component now, where that wasn't always the message. Like that was the message for like the bodybuilder, more like a manly message maybe. And now everyone knows that they need to strength train. And so for me, someone that was working, this could be a whole nother podcast. I'm a serial careerist. Okay. So I've worked in healthcare. I've worked in restaurants. I've worked in retail. I worked at the gym as the front desk person, but you wouldn't catch me dead working out in the gym. No way. No way. I was married to a personal trainer. I worked at the gym. No way would I work out there. Once I signed on to owning a fitness business, I'm like, I should probably try these, and strength training completely changed how my body, my metabolism worked. It took away chronic pain that I didn't even know I was having for years and years and years. And I'm, in my early 30s. And so I realized people need to do this. Everyone should be strength training, not just the guys that are trying to build up their bodies, or women that want to build up their bodies and be buff and strong, but everyone, moms, grandmas, dads, grandpas, busy CEOs, we all need to be doing this so that our body works correctly and we can move relatively pain-free throughout the day. So once a week, I can wrap my mind around. I can do this for once a week. I'm not going to do it 5 days a week to get similar results.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm so glad you said that, Jenna, because this is, as you guys know, one of my main, obviously I love the machines and I love going in there and I love the experience that I have with you guys, but it's really about the fact that I can get my workout in once a week for 35 to 40 minutes and I feel great about myself. And I know I'm not coming back for another week to do strength training. And I have time to go out and play tennis in the morning and do a workout or go on a hike with friends or do something active with my kids and know that I'm still getting what I need in my strength training. And it's really for the busy professional, for the busy mom, the working mom, this is the way to stay in shape, to take care of yourself and to build muscle mass and to build bone density, right? And that's another conversation we'll get into is how important that is. But it's for all ages. And I think that's the most important thing that you stress upon is like whether you're in your 20s and 30s where your body is still like very optimal or you're building for longevity to have health and wellness for a long period to come. I know people in their 70s who work out at your studio
80s,
and it's
90s.
in 80s and 90s. And it's just incredible to see that you can do strength training in a whole new way that fits with your lifestyle.
And to me, the best part is the results are so much quicker than traditional strength training and a fraction of the time it would take. Training 4 hours a week at the gym would get you a small percentage of what we give you in 30 minutes a week. Yeah. And just think about what that does to your connective tissue, your joints. They're going to last a lot longer if you're only working them out 30 minutes a week versus 4 or 5 hours a week. So then you can train for even longer and, work on slowing down that biological clock for longer,
And I think it's important to mention that it's all quantitatively tracked. The data is in front of you on the screen. I think a lot of times in the fitness world, there's the cool new thing that's going to work better. But, for us, we were able to see it not only day to day, week to week, month to month, but now year over year. We see these giant improvements, these giant percentage increases, and it's you versus you. We've taken out every variable. The machine is going to do what we ask the machine to do, and then the variable is the client or the user. And so week after week, we know, did you lift more than you ever have, or did you not? And couple that with our InBody, which scans body composition, there's no more tape measures. There's no more body
We don't do
fat
like before and after
calibrations.
pictures. We don't embarrass you like that.
No,
we just have we have data to look at, and we can pick apart the data that's important to you and your goals, and what works with your lifestyle right now. Like
Absolutely.
I really only work out once a week. That's what fits in my lifestyle right now. But maybe one day my goals can change because I'll have more time to dedicate to whatever those goals are. But right now, that's what I can do. And then from a nutrition standpoint, we can talk about, okay, your numbers aren't trending the way we want to see them. Like, what are you eating every day? How are you sleeping? Like, we have these really important conversations that we wouldn't be able to have without these data points. So you're right. That's a really good thing to mention too. It's all quantitative data that we're looking at week to week.
And I love when you get on the machine and you can see your last week's progress, and you're literally working against whatever you did last week or your highest number, whatever ends up being. And it's kind of really just fun to be like, hey, I'm competing with myself. Let's see if I can beat my number. And like when my son Nicholas came in on Wednesday and he had his best leg press ever the week before, and he was like, I killed it last week. I felt so good. And then he came in and he didn't beat it, and Ian said, you're never going to beat your best day the week right after that. And it's just it's fun. It's like a game almost. And so as much as we hate leg press because it's the hardest one to do, I mean, I love it and hate it. It's like that love-hate relationship. It's a love-hate.
I love how powerful it makes me feel. Like,
yes.
But at the beginning.
At the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like you were used to weight training. I wasn't. And so like I realized like my body has the ability to be so strong and powerful. So that's like my moment of the week to like tap into that.
Yes.
So I love it. But yes, it's terrible and hard.
Yeah. Well, and I'll say one more thing that I do love that you guys offer is these body scans where you get to come in at the very beginning when you first work out and you do a body scan of and I'm going to explain it horribly. So why don't you, because I just know what I see when the printout comes, but if you could explain how that works.
Absolutely. So it's an in-body scanner. So it's measuring your body composition, muscle ratios, fat percentages, BMIs, percent body fat, but also your basal metabolic rate, which we can then use to help any sort of nutrition plan. But what it does, it basically reads your body or scans your body, and then will line graph chart you on all your numbers. And so we couple the outputs that you have on our ARX machines with, are you losing fat? Are you gaining muscle? Where are you gaining muscle? Is your basal metabolic rate increasing? And so by putting all those data points together, not only can we make sure you're on the correct workout routine, but as Jenna mentioned earlier, we can make sure you're on the correct recovery routine. And we can start to implement, hey, you should do a yoga class or add in an extra protein shake.
Or maybe don't go to that extra
or maybe
class. Like that's hindering you. You're not recovering. And that's a big thing that like it takes a while to wrap your head around. Like, I'm doing too much training? Like what are you talking about?
Maybe you go to the beach and you run a bunch of stairs and your quads get really tight. And
Hint, hint.
But yeah, we get really nerdy with the data. But but what I like about it is it teaches the individual, our clients, what's going on specifically with them, and they're not comparing it to really anyone else. Like, this is your body, this is your genetics, this is your lifestyle. So we have your data to look at, and that's what we're focused on, is your data, not this picture versus this picture. And not even like this tape measure, because that only tells us tiny things, right? Yeah, it's good.
It's so good, and just I love coming in there and getting you have so much wisdom around what you're doing. I mean, Ian, especially when I come in and I'm complaining about my whatever QL. I'm learning. I got it.
You learned about your QL.
You learned about my QL. I have no idea. No anatomy of the body is clear to me other than the reproductive organs, because I know all about that. But other than that, I am so uneducated about this stuff. And I can come in and you're like, oh, that's your QL. Let's work on this. And it's really customized and personalized to what's going on with your individual body. And as we get older, especially as women, I mean, I can't speak to men, but especially as women, as we're going through, menopause, menopause, perimenopause. There's all kinds of things that we're dealing with our bodies. Bone density loss that we spoke about briefly. It's just you, and having that awareness and knowledge is so important. This is like next level training. This is not just a personal trainer that's helping you get in shape. This is next level training and education that's so important as we age. So I am so grateful to you guys and what you're doing for the community, and all ages, all types. As I said, my 15-year-old son is in there trying to get stronger to hit that home run finally.
He'll get there.
He'll get there. And that brings me to the next topic that I wanted to talk about with you guys, because this show is called Where Passion Meets Purpose. And I know you guys have a lot of passion for what you do, but what is the purpose behind your why? Why are you really doing this? Because as entrepreneurs, we have to really love what we do, and we have to have purpose behind what we're doing in order to see the longevity in our careers and our businesses and what we're doing. And so I always like to ask everyone on the show, like, what is your why? Why are you really doing this? Who wants to go first? You want to share, Jenna?
Go for it.
I think my why has evolved a lot. The beginning was I wanted this dream for him because I really believed in him, and in that I wanted time, my time spent towards something we're working on together, and my time spent with my son. And then it's evolved. Now we have a daughter. We have this life we're building in a location that requires a lot of hustle to make it. And so my why is this dream life that we have together that includes spending time together, feeling good, and living authentically as ourselves. And it's such a blessing to be able to go to your job and get to be you no matter what. And that's the gift of entrepreneurship. Like, you're you. Yes. You're not fitting into anyone else's mold of you. You get to be you. He gets to show up as Ian. I get to show up as Jenna. And we're very, very different in how we work and operate and approach problems. But that's what brings us a lot of balance, probably, are those differences. So the why has evolved to keep building this kind of dream life together while doing something that hopefully gives back to someone else's life as well. And continuing to be just authentic each day and not have to show up when you don't want to show up for someone else and, live life like that.
Absolutely. And that's the gift of entrepreneurship, right? That you get to create the business and the life that you want to live and take it down the path that you want. And if you get to a place where it's not serving you, you get to shift. There's no one else that you have to talk to about it but you. And you just need to know deep down that as long as you're aligned with your core values and your purpose and your why and what you care about and what you're trying to accomplish, that's all that matters, right? And so I love that, Jenna. I feel the same way when we started our restaurant business. It was all about my husband's dream. And it was all about supporting him and I did have young kids too at the time. So supporting him in this dream and being that partner that could support him and lift it up. And then as the years went on, I became more the dreamer, and let's go and try this, and let's open up this opportunity, and let's connect with these people to build. And so you do have those seasons where you're shifting, and then you start to realize your why and your purpose get born through that process.
And I think when you have, whether it's a business partner or your life partner that you're working with, they see things in you too that you don't see. Yeah. And I see things in you to help you grow and vice versa. I would have never ever dreamed up this life or this entrepreneur inside me without him. Yeah. So that matters too. Having the right business partner or partner to do it with really makes a difference. And I know there's a lot of people doing it by themselves, and I commend you for that because it's been really, really essential for my personal success to have someone on my team doing it with me.
So awesome. Okay, so putting you on the spot, Ian, what about you? Your purpose, because I know this was your dream from the get-go, and maybe your why has changed as well. But what is it that gets you up out of bed every day to get this going?
that's a really interesting question when I take a second to think about it. And I think I completely agree with Jenna in a sense of why I become an entrepreneur is different than why am I a personal trainer. The entrepreneur lifestyle is we want to live that fun life and kind of take everything we can out of it and be our own bosses, and that has been so fulfilling and inspiring and amazing to do with you as an entrepreneur. And I think my why for kind of the helping people part, the personal trainer part, it's more of a servitude or a calling. I don't know why things that make sense to me don't make sense to other people, and I can see the body, I guess, in a way that other trainers I've worked with and other fitness professionals don't see it. And I don't think I took a class someone didn't take or read a book someone didn't read, but it makes sense in my brain. And if I can, in my own why of being an entrepreneur, live my best life to my fullest and be able to work out once a week and play tennis and pickleball and do all those things I want to be able to share that with as many people as I can. And my why has evolved. My why now is, how can I share that message and help as many people as I can, even though, I don't know, it's like I was destined to do it, and for whatever reason, the choices of my past has gotten me to where I am. And I feel super comfortable and confident and privileged to be in the position that I'm in. And I think I'm figuring out the why, and it's going to evolve, and it will be different the next time we talk and the next time I'm on a podcast. Or I just thoroughly enjoy, we use the phrase quality of life, and I always laugh about it because I don't want it to sound like your last couple months, Jen, and your quality of life needs to be improved. But I want you to live your life to the fullest. And I want to share that message with as many people as I can, that it is possible. And I know it's something silly because it's only a fitness routine or a workout routine. But if I can simplify that and I can help you with that, hopefully you can find simplicity in the other aspects of your life that help you go further towards that, that lifestyle that we all want to live.
And that passion and your purpose comes through when you're working with your clients. It's like when I talk about being on stage, it's the same thing. You light up when you're doing your thing. Mm-hmm. And when you come alive like that and you're in your purpose and you're doing your thing, it's like time stands still. There's nothing else going on in your brain.
There's this show where, what's it called? The Good Doctor.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I don't know if you ever watched that show. Okay.
I don't think so.
I haven't. I don't know what this is going.
You would never watch that show. But anyway, I love medical stuff and cheesy shows. And this doctor, he's like super, super young. He's on the spectrum. And he like can see into someone's body and like figure out the puzzles of what's going on, da 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 da. And that, like, while you're talking right now, like that's how you see your clients, is like this puzzle. Mm-hmm. And there's little things that are out of place. And he is just so gifted of like, this needs to go here and that needs to go there, and that's going to fix that problem. And I've never seen, I mean, working in the medical field, I never met people that would look at the whole body like that and be able to do that. And so it's just like a special gift you have. So you're in the right space.
Right. And I think that's exactly what I was getting at, is like when you're in doing what you're meant to do in this lifetime, you just know it and you're in it and you're in the moment, and there's no rational thinking. It's just coming out of you. Yeah. Right. And this is why I do this show. I want to inspire people to find that thing within them, that gift, that talent, that passion, and that purpose that drives them forward, that they don't even have to think about it. It's just what they do. And when you find it, it is like, you're right, you covet it with everything that you have. It is the greatest gift and privilege to be able to do that. And then what's going to happen now is you're doing this business. And then, as you say, your why evolves, and then it grows into something else. And now you're thinking about your impact, your legacy. Mm-hmm. What can I do to reach more people? How can I reach more people? And I know you and I have talked about having that vision, and the sky's the limit. I want people to know that when you find that thing that you're meant to do, it's always evolving and growing and building, and you never want to stop doing it. right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's an amazing, amazing thing. And I want people to know how great you guys are at what you do. And, I know you're almost like busting at the seams in the studio that you're in, which is a great problem to have. It's a great problem to have, but we're going to send as many people your way to try these ARX machines and to get on this program, because I did a live this morning. I've been doing a 30-day live challenge.
Yeah.
Love that.
Thank you. It's one of those things that I'm trying to stick to the commitments I make to myself at the same time every day, and sticking out and doing it, and also working on my talks and stuff. And one of the things I talked about today was the THRIVE acronym. I am all about, we want to thrive in life, not just survive, right? There are people who are just existing. And I want to see them push themselves to truly thrive. And so that acronym, part of that acronym is getting to the place of focusing on your mind, body, and spirit. And if your spirit and your body and your mind are not aligned, you cannot thrive. And your piece of this, the health aspect, is so important, and getting in shape and being able to move your body every day. People that are like, oh, I can't get out of bed, I don't feel good, this and that. It is that you cannot thrive in that life. And so it's, no matter what's going on in your body, figuring it out and getting yourself healthy is so important. And it starts with getting out of bed and going for a walk and exercising, or coming into a gym and just trying a little bit of something to move your body and get your strength back. And you are such a core, what you guys are doing is such a core pillar to that piece of thriving. And it's so important. So I just had to point that out.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And your legacy and your impact is going, I have no doubt, is going to go beyond just Top Tier Training Studio here in the South Bay of Los Angeles. So I can't wait to see all that you guys are going to do in the coming months and years and everything. And I'm going to be along. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be along for the ride with you guys. So I have a little surprise fun game. I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions. And put you on the spot before we wrap up here. I want, and I'll start with you, Jenna. What is one word that describes your partner in business?
Steady.
Good one. Yes.
Yeah.
Steady. And what does that mean, really? Like, when you say steady?
He doesn't bring like the fear component in, whereas I do. I'm like, oh God, this is happening. Oh no. He's just like this steady train that's going to keep going.
Yeah.
No matter what challenge is coming, we keep going forward. And he's always been a good leader in that, in other aspects of life too. But yeah, just very steady.
That's a great quality. My husband's that way too. I'm kind of the dreamer and way up here floating around and, yeah, let's do this, let's do that. And he's kind of just like, okay, even keel, keeping things grounded. It's so important, the yin and yang in that dynamic. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
So what would you say about Jenna if you had one word to describe her in business?
Well, I think something that we allow ourselves to do within Top Tiers, as she mentioned, is be ourselves. And something that she is in business, at home, in our family, I've mentioned this a couple times before, is she's the heart. If I'm the brain that sees the puzzle, that puts it all together, she's the heartbeat of the whole place. She's the one that, even from picking the paint color on the wall to how is the studio designed, how do we reach out, how do we talk to our clients, how do we, she's the one who's really connecting and making it feel like they're part of our little fitness family. And she's done that with everything, every friend group I've ever seen her in, every business that she's ever been in. And so I know, obviously, as we partner through business and life, she's going to be able to bring that. She's going to be able to bring that compassion and just the heartbeat of what we're trying to do and trying to bring. And she does that every day. And then I'll put my head down and do the day to day.
Yeah.
Do the steady train. And
it's awesome. It's an awesome yin yang, right? And I can attest to that as well. Like, Jenna, you just are so real and authentic and genuine, and you really do care so much about you. Not just, I don't know you on a social level with your friends, but I can only imagine what you're like with your friends. And we've talked a little bit about that, but how you make people feel when you're there and you really listen and you're present and you're warm and welcoming, as I said in the intro. So it's such a great balance that you two have. So it's awesome. It's a testament to your success, obviously. Okay, next question. What is your favorite way to recharge outside of the gym? Ian, I'll start with you there.
For me, I'm traveling the outdoors, get dirt under my shoes or dirt under the tires or something like that. But I guess more of a week to week, we do little Friday night date nights. For us, it's kind of reconnecting. I think as sure as a business partner who's also your husband, it's hard to be just husband and wife sometimes. So for me, with little kids and a business that's basically a child and all the commitment that comes from that, for my little recharge is just to kind of go back to the basics with Jenna. We're taking a silly little dance class tonight. We're doing ballroom dancing. And it's something brand new. I'm not a dancer. I didn't come from that, but it's just something to kind of take us out of our element and allow us to be kind of the fun, lighthearted couple again, and not, for a couple hours, not worry about the day to day or the big grandiose dreams and all that. And because that will come, we'll have those conversations in no time. So for me, it's these little snippets where we get to just kind of be who we used to be before all the anarchy set in.
Yeah, it's so important to completely remove yourself and detach yourself from your day to day, whether that be going for a walk. I mean, if I get my husband out and we go for a walk and we bring the dog, we try not to talk about business or anything. And we don't bring our phones. We really do try to just be present with each other and not talk about work or the kids. It's kind of hard to do that too. But yeah, especially with teenagers. But yeah, and do things that we enjoy doing together. Like today, we're going to go horseback riding and do something fun together that we haven't done in a while, which we love to do together. So it's pulling yourself out of your daily routine to get back to the youthful part of your relationship before marriage, kids, business, all the things.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's so awesome. How about you, Jenna? How do you like to recharge outside of work?
I do love our Friday night date nights, and shout out to his parents because they allow us to do that. They watch our kids and they're the best. But I need to connect with nature.
Yeah.
So whatever that means, it might mean just putting my toes in the sand, down the street here, or if we can make it out up into a forest. That's my favorite place to go, is be with tall trees. But what I've realized, I need to move my body to recharge, which I never would have admitted years ago.
This is the first time she's admitting it.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
And I deal with a lot of mental health struggles, and I've realized moving my body recharges my body. So if I can move my body out in nature, or we've been doing these dance classes, which that's been really fun to tap into a creative side. But nature and movement to recharge.
Me too. I have to be out in nature. I think nature and movement in general for everyone is just key. We're so fortunate to live where we do in Southern California, where the weather's nice most of the time. But I hear people out there running, walking in snow, sleet, rain, whatever. And because we all do need to get outdoors and move, or in a gym and move. But nature is such an important way to connect back to our core of ourselves. I always talk about intuition and tapping into your intuition.
We are nature, is what I like to say.
Exactly.
We are part of nature. We're connected to it. And so our lifestyles disconnect us so much. We have to make a point to go and reconnect to recharge, I think.
Absolutely. Well, you guys are a true inspiration to anyone out there who's thinking about starting a business, or who's in a business who may be going through a challenging time. We all go through challenges in business, and it's not always easy. But if you keep, stay in tune with your purpose, your why, stay in your passion, and connect to your values, you will be successful. You just kind of have to stick it through the hard times sometimes. And I see you guys thriving, and it's so much fun to watch and be a part of. And I just can't wait to be a part of the journey with you both. So thank you both for being here. How can we have our listeners connect with you guys? Where's the best place to follow you, to reach you?
We're on Instagram, Facebook as @Tyr Training, and Tyr is TYR. And then we have a website too, where you can go on, learn more about ARX and the kind of personal training we do. And then if you'd like, sign up for a fitness consultation with us, and we'll give you a full demonstration workout of these amazing machines, plus go over your personal health and fitness goals to make sure that it's a good fit and how we can help. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, great. Thank you guys. We'll have all that info in the show notes so everybody can follow you and pop in. Hopefully, if you're local listening, you pop in and just check out the machines and then sign up for a demo. It's changed my life literally in so many ways. And I'm so grateful to know you guys. So thank you so much for being here. And
Thank
we
you.
will talk again soon. And thank you all for listening and being here. And we will catch you next week. Thank you again for listening to Where Passion Meets Purpose. If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe and download it so you don't miss an episode every single week. And if you think you have a friend who might benefit from listening, please share it with them as well. If you'd like to contact me, you can always reach me through email on my website at jenmentesana.com and my social media, Jen_Mentesana. And you can DM me there and I'll always respond and we can connect about topics on the show or anything else you'd like to discuss. Thanks again for tuning in.